is CBS 11 News Now.
And a good afternoon, everyone. This is News Now, our digital update. I'm Ken Molesina, just a little bit past 3 o'clock on this Friday. I know a lot of people are already trying to get the weekend going. But before you do, just want to let you know that we are following some stories here at CBS 11 News in reference to the weather that we've been seeing. We've been seeing a lot of rain the past couple of days, and it has not let up yet. Matter of fact, out in Rockwall, they're still dealing with some flooding issues out there. Our Steve Pickett has been out in Rockwall all day today. And let's see if we can get up his little video that he sent us about what he's seeing out there.
What we have here today essentially is pretty quiet. These folks who are impacted by this, and there's a good number of them, they're all gone. That's the good news. They are not injured, no real problems for them other than the fact that they've got water inside their homes, about 20 of those homes. Many of them, about 10 we are told, now sitting in hotels handed by the city in concert with a social agency. But the other concern is over here. If this water starts to rise, if we get bigger storms here, this water level will continue to rise, and we've got other homes here really on the brink of concern. And so that's what we're dealing with today. A lot of these folks are now with other family members, and again, we're in a floodplain. This lake, Lake Rockwall, and the residents, the subdivision here, sits in a floodplain. Folks are expected to see high waters because when it rains, they see it. They've never seen it like this, and that's the concern. Again, as it stands on this Friday, if more heavy storms come, not only are the people already directly affected, the concern here is what happens to the other folks who are sitting back and waiting. I'm Steve Pickett, back to you.
All right, thanks to Steve for that. Quick question here coming in on Facebook Live. Kathleen Wilcox-Gandy asking, where is this? That was Steve Pickett, and he was out in Rockwall. He's going to have a lot more at 4 o'clock coming up. Joined now by Jeff Ray. Jeff, before we get to your radar, I did want to show some people because, again, we can't show these images enough. When we're talking about high water and when we're warning people, turn around, don't drown, stay out of these places, you got to see this. Well, first of all, this is video from overnight right underneath a bridge in Dallas where a homeless man had to be rescued. Our cameras were there as rescue crews pulled him out of there. But if we can, guys, let's go to that video from Irving from earlier this morning. It was a pickup truck that got stuck out in the middle of the road where a lot of water was at. Do we have that for us? Okay, I guess this isn't it. All right, but anyway, this is a case in point of just how fast the waters can rise, and really a case in point of how much water we have received in the last couple of days here. So let's come back out here, chat with Jeff Ray. We're to the weekend, Jeff, so give us some good news, buddy.
So where you were showing where the flooding was in Rockwell, they're still in a flash flood warning now till 9 tonight, 9:15 to be exact, where we were going. Steve Pickett was going live there, and this is flooding all around the lake that's going on at Rockwall Lake. So they're going to continue to be a problem, even though it hasn't rained there for a while now, and that is the good news. We're still under flash flood watch till tomorrow morning. What's new? It's just another flash flood watch. We've had one every day since Monday, and it's going to go into the weekend now. Now, this is what the rain has been doing the last couple of hours. Notice there's pretty good rain still going on into Montague County, but that is where the heavy rain is now, and it's leaving, and we're going to continue to have this break in the rain across the Metroplex for the rest of the afternoon and early evening. However, overnight, actually starting this evening, but overnight especially, the rain is going to start picking up over the metro area, and that's because a warm front is going to move in. So the temperatures that have been stuck around, upper 40s, 50 all day will actually start to rise in the overnight hours as the rain activity starts to pick up. You'll start hearing some thunder through the overnight hours, and especially by tomorrow morning where temperatures will be in the upper 50s. But in comes a cold front from the west. That's a focus mechanism for the possibility of severe weather. And that's going to start at around 10 in the morning, probably just to the west of the Metroplex, and then move into the metro area sometime around lunch, 11 o'clock to lunch hour. We run the risk of severe weather moving in and across the Metroplex. This will go on for a couple of hours as it's moving off to the east, and then the threat will move off to the east. And by the time we get to the end of the afternoon to early evening, all of it will be gone, and we enjoy some sunshine on Sunday. But tomorrow, around the metro area, you run the risk of large hail damaging winds. And then just to the east of Dallas County, including Kaufman County, Hunt County, we run the risk of even isolated tornadoes in the afternoon.
Wow.
And that does include Paris. Sheila Barton was asking about Paris.
Hope we don't get any of those.
And I'm thinking that your risk will be in the mid-afternoon hours across the rest of the day. You'll have to watch these thunderstorms that will be moving in from the west there. This is something we don't show much. Ken, this is called CAPE, and it's just an indicator of instability in the atmosphere. This is really what you're looking at is the output of a mathematical model looking at all the ingredients that might make the atmosphere very unstable and prone for severe weather. Where you see those patches of yellow, that's high CAPE. And you can see it's over the metro area by noon, but look how organized it gets, and it gets higher by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just to the east of the metro area. So that's why we're more concerned about tornadic activity to the east of the metro area, not over the metro area. We're just worried about hail, and then all that threat kind of disappears as we get into the afternoon. You can see how the National Weather the Storm Center, the National Weather Service Storm Center, continues to put us in the category 2, slight risk, damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes, that threat being east. I know you want to see this. How about a couple of days
there
of
it
sunshine?
is.
We have another rain event coming in Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then it's going to dry out again. So I don't think we'll have the flood threat again like we've had all week.
So, listen, I don't want to make light of this because obviously, like you said, it's important for people to stay weather aware of what's going on out there. But we've got a guy on Facebook, Alan Moody, writing. Listen to what he's writing. Where is it? There it is.
That rodent's fault.
This is that rodent's fault. Off with the groundhog, dilly-dilly.
I agree with you. Why we entrust weather forecasting with an animal that has the brain the size of a walnut, I don't know.
That's always a sore spot with you meteorologists, isn't it?
You always bring that up every year. You talk about groundhog. He does that because he knows that that gets me.
Oh, boy. Let's take some sky cams real quick. What do we have? This is supposed to be Dallas, by the way.
That's how it's looked all day. Now, to be fair, this is on the 60th floor, 70th floor. I forget the height, but so we're actually in the low cloud deck looking down. So it's not really fog. So if we show the Fort Worth camera, which is also on top of a 20-story building, but you can see where the cloud deck is. It's under, it's above 1,000 feet. So as we look in downtown Fort Worth, you can see, that's a dreary looking day, not necessarily a thick fog out there. And this is almost ground level. In Arlington, this is the Center Street Bridge, and you see how even better news, the road is dry, but also visibilities are good. And this is from our tower, which is about 100 feet off the ground. Again, we're under the cloud deck, but there is not really a fog. And this is the airport, and this looks bad because we're looking a long way across the airport.
Right, yeah.
So visibilities actually aren't that bad. I can actually look at what the actual visibility is at the airport, because we can pull up the observation from it.
There.
But visibility at the airport right now is I think it's 2.5 miles. I'll zoom in a little bit closer, but
we're kind of giving people a potpourri of what it looks like throughout town.
1.5 miles at the airport.
The reason we're doing this, obviously, because it's Friday, people are going to want to get out and about and maybe make some plans.
Well,
so
everybody's
hopefully
been stuck inside all weekend.
I know it. I know people are getting cabin fever.
Yeah, and we got one more day of it. It's overnight. I want everybody to be weather aware overnight. Be careful if you're out driving late or early tomorrow morning, because we're going to have more flooding inside the metro area, I'm afraid. If you get into a heavy rain, even if it's brief, there's no place for the water to go. I mean, the soil's saturated, the creeks are high, so the water's going to stay on the roads.
Rockwall's having to deal with that.
And then you get a situation like Rockwall where flooding's going on, so you're going to have more rain going into the area overnight into tomorrow morning. And then we're going to have a severe weather threat, Ken, that starts at 10. And all what we've been dealing with of late, mostly flooding and the ice, we really hadn't had to deal with severe weather. But that is how all this ends. We end the last 6 hours of this, what has been 6 days of bad weather. We're going to end the last 6 hours with really a significant severe threat. And the significant threat is really east of the Metroplex, but inside North Texas.
Well, when you were talking about those possible isolated tornadoes, I mean, that's something.
We're getting closer and closer to the spring season.
Yeah, I know. And then we know what happens then, right? Hey, before we go, though, let's take that map one more time of the flooding out in Rockwall, if we could, back there, because some folks were asking about where that flooding in Rockwall is.
Not Lake Roy Hubbard. Okay? No,
it's Rockwall Lake.
It's a small catchment lake called Rockwall Lake. It is a suburb area, development is built around it, and that lake is overflowing into the suburb.
So there you have it. All right, folks, we hope you're enjoying your Friday. I know the rush hour commute is going to start pretty soon here, so just be safe out there, out on the roads, you know, again, stay weather aware. Download the app. You know,
download the app.
You'll have our meteorologist there at your fingertips. You'll get all the latest information that you need. You're going to need it this weekend for sure. So be sure to do that. Do yourself a favor and just go ahead and download that right now. That is free for all smartphones. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this News Now update. We appreciate you chiming in, talking to us here on Facebook Live. We're going to see you at CBS 11 News at 4 o'clock. Talk to you soon.
Bye now.